Hey guys, here we go. We are kicking off Tropeacetic. At first, the screen is going to appear perfectly normal to you, nothing really special to talk about. But eventually we will have to figure out a way to keep a live, updated ranking on one part of this screen, and then on another one be like, hey, these are the most recent tropes we found on this one, or something along those lines. We'll figure it out. It's a work in progress. Welcome to Dragon Quest 1. Let's get started. So, my general rule for naming a character is to say, what's the default name? And then just go with that. If there is no default name, I would normally put my name in. However, it turns out, on a whim, I just went onto the fandom website for the Dragon Quest series, and they say, hey, this guy's actual name is Aleph? Aleph? I'm going to go with Aleph. It's a little awkward of a name for me, but alright, that's what it's going to be. How is this going to affect my stats in the beginning here? I don't know. Of course, we're going with the fast message speed, because we're not crazy. Let's talk to the kingy here. Descendant of Erdrick, listen now to my words. It is told that in ages past, Erdrick fought demons with a ball of light. Then came the Dragon Lord who stole the precious globe and hid it in the darkness. Now, Aleph, thou must help us recover the ball of light and restore peace to our land. The Dragon Lord must be defeated. Take now whatever thou may find in these treasure chests to aid thee in thy quest. Then speak with the guards, for they have much knowledge that may aid thee. May the light shine upon thee, Aleph. Here we go, the game that annoyingly you have to use the stairs button to use stairs. Dost thou know about Princess Gwaelin? Nope. Half a year now hath passed since the princess was kidnapped by the enemy. Never does the king speak of it, but he must be suffering much. Aleph, please save the princess. Does he say anything different if we say yes to his question? No, he just says his last line. He wants that princess saved. What do you gotta say? If thou hast collected all the treasure chest, a key will be found. Once used, the key will disappear, but the door will be open and thou may pass through. Door technology. East of this castle is a town where armor, weapons, and many other items may be purchased. Return to the inn for a rest if thou art wounded in battle, Aleph. Sleep heals all. Yes, it does. Well, at least here it does. That's probably our first trope, or one of our first tropes. We're going to count them at the end of the episodes, though, if anybody's curious. Of gold, thou hast gained 120 for the moment. Fortune smiles upon thee, Aleph. Thou hast found the torch. I'm thinking a Zippo. And thou hast found the magic key, which means something much different later on in the series. So, let's go ahead and use a magic key. And now we can exit. And I'm going to take a moment here, because there is something that I meant to activate, and I completely forgot until we actually got started here. Is it this? No. What am I looking for? Yes, it's this. Oh, I didn't save it. Haha. Well, now thou getst to wait while I add some Game Genie codes to this. I'm going to go with gold and magic points for now. I'm not planning on touching MP or fast leveling or anything along those lines. Because if you don't know why you cheating at Dragon Warrior 1, man, it's just to save time. And the whole point of it is explained why in the introduction to Tropeacetic, or whatever that video winds up getting called. So here is that code. Oh, let's try that again. Aha. Why are you being like that? Does that work? It does. Okay. Sorry, this would normally be done ahead of time. I might cut this out, or I might just have this kept in so I can be laughed at. We've done both. Oh, wait. Why did that go and do that? Let's fix that. Actually, you know what? Maybe we'll go just MP. Because, I mean, there should be a little bit of grinding. We'll start that way for now. How's that sound? Whoops, talking to nobody. Which is what I'm doing now, too. Hey guys, how's Garden? King Lorik will record thy deeds in his imperial scroll, so thou may return to thy quest later. No, that's what save states are about. If thou art planning to take a rest, first say King Lorik. No need, guys. I'm not planning on talking to him for a bit. There was a time when Breckenary was a paradise, then the Dragon Lord's minions came. Of course they did. Where, oh where, can I find Princess Gwaelin? Well, she's not here, so you should probably look elsewhere. We are merchants who have traveled much in this land. Many of our colleagues have been killed by servants of the Dragon Lord. Rumor has it that entire towns have been destroyed by the Dragon Lord's servants. We ran into one of those. I don't know if there's towns, plural. I just remember one. To become strong enough to face future trials, thou must first battle many foes. Hi, thou must have a key to open a door. Thanks, that's what the other people already told me. It's a pretty good regal sounding music for a castle. I think Dragon Warrior had its music game going right from the start. This person's not even moving and looking for the princess. When entering the cave, take with thee a torch. Yeah, at least early on, then we get a spell. Elif's I didn't remember the flashing. Elif's coming was foretold by legend. May the light shine upon this brave warrior. And then he just tased me or turned on a disco ball. I'm not entirely certain. And I'm not going to talk to you guys. You guys are just door grunts. You guys never have anything worth saying. Let's go to town. What do they have to say here? Thou art most welcome in Breckenary. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of these names wrong. I'm more of a reader than I am a listener. Like, I tend to read news more than watch it, that kind of thing. So it affects me all the time in the real world, too, where I find out randomly, oh, that's how you say it. Enter the shop and speak to its keeper across the desk. Watch thy hit points when in the poisonous marshes. Oh, yeah, Dragon Quest also loves its painful flooring. Save them from the Dragon Lord's minions, or did you say both, or just one? Because it's probably both they need to be saved from. There's a town where magic keys can be purchased. We'll get there. If thou art cursed, come again. I forgot what curse was. See King Lorik when thy experience levels are raised. It makes me think I know there's like the cursed pieces of equipment, where it's like, you can't take this off, and now look, you're always asleep, and stuff like that. He's asking for proof that I have descended from Erdrick, not Loto. Many have been the warriors who have perished on this quest, but for thee I wish success. Did you not wish success for the others? No, I am not Princess Gwaelin. I didn't ask. Enter where thou can. Tutorial town. Within sight of Tantajo Castle, to the south, is Charlock, the fortress of the Dragon Lord. Ooh. Oh. There's somebody to speak to in the inn. So yeah, at least for the Dragon Warrior series, I'll be going and doing the day-night cycle talking as well, for anybody who's curious about that. Tell King Lorik that the search for his daughter hath failed. I am almost gone. Well, you're at an inn. You should be fine. If you made it this far. Do we have enough for the weapon? Because I would like to, Oh, you know what? Hang on. I'm sorry. I wanted to actually check my stats. 4-4, 14, 4-2. That seems about the same. So I think the name thing is growth, not start. I never remember. I was going to look it up and I said, I'm not gonna. Oh, I cannot afford the copper sword. How do I want to do this then? I'd rather do kind of a financial snowball with this, so we're going to go with the most expensive thing first, and then it should speed up from there. That's pretty good. It's a tensity to that music. I do really enjoy one thing about, many things about RPGs, but one thing in particular that I'm bringing up now is I do enjoy the themes that exist over the life of a series. So, I'm always looking in a Final Fantasy for Moogles and Chocobos. I want to see Ifrit, Shiva, and Rama. In the case of Dragon Quest, I want to see slimes. I want a metal babble sword. Stuff like that. I want to have to save with a priest. Music is probably one of the more easily identifiable ones for me. Oh boy, come on! Don't let him hit you for 2. I'm gonna have to take my first nap. And so in the case of music, all right, so I said Final Fantasy, so we know we've got the prelude that opens things up for you. Not so much the battle theme as the victory theme is one. The Chocobo theme, of course, is great because it's really just, hey, it's the Chocobo theme with a different set of instruments, I feel like ever since voice acting became, or stopped being, cost prohibitive for developers, I feel like voice acting has gone up. It's gotten so much better than where it started, especially. And music feels to me like it's taken a small backseat, if you will. So it's not modern anymore, even though I think they announced they're working on the 4th one now, but the Mass Effect series. Mass Effect has some good music, but as far as themes go, only one theme in Mass Effect really stands out to me, and that's the song that plays when you're looking at the galaxy map. I don't know, little things like that. A good theme is a good thing. I came up with that myself. Isn't that great, guys? A good theme really can do wonders. I need to go up a level soon so I don't have to keep doing this. Once I get the heal spell, this is going to speed up a bit. I didn't want to completely destructively cheat at this game, so I'm just doing the magic one. When PPM covered this, I think we did give her a gold cheat for that as well. I have since sort of rearranged my library a bit, so it looks like that didn't save because of it. Hard to say, because since PPM covered this, Rob and I ran into some strange things. It turns out that there was a full screen optimization that just suddenly started happening and was really messing up the ability to capture this in a way that I quite simply did not like. Actually, speaking of capture, let me take a quick glance. Yeah, that's good. I just want to make sure it's still happening, especially for a long show like this. And that actually is my timer. I use the OBS running timer to let me know how long I've been going. Oh, that's a good point. So we try to never have an episode less than 10 minutes. I think that's happened once. 15 to 30 has been what we try to average at. It used to just be 15 to 20, but ever since we got this recorder mixer, oh man, has that helped so much. You guys have no idea. Or maybe you do. So we can do longer episodes now, and you've seen that. Yay, let's see how I've progressed here with my first level. Power 1, okay. HP 6, that's it. Okay, that's not super great. I was hoping for a little more. I am at 8. I do want to go ahead and take a nap again. Very soon we won't have to do this quite as much. And maybe I should snowball up, but I'd rather snowball down. I hope you guys know what I mean when I'm saying snowball. Maybe I should explain that next, because we've got time. You know, we're playing an RPG. We got time to talk, you and I. But for these, the episodes are generally going to be much, much longer. This first one is actually going to be a challenge because this game can be very short for an RPG as well, let alone the fact that now I'm cheating at it and how that changes the face of everything. So it's going to be longer episodes, yet also hard to really define what time we're looking at on these. I would prefer to find natural breaks, segment transitions, that sort of thing, that are just a natural part of the video game storytelling. And that's what makes this one so difficult, is that certain things are going to be difficult. This one doesn't really have that as clearly as this game will in the future. But on the other side, I'm going to be playing a lot of games that I am just more... I've just got a cursory knowledge of. For example, the Ultima games I'm going to try and do on here. For me, Ultima was just Ultima Online, and if Rob and I ever tell you stories about that, we did not know what we were doing in that game. And it showed by the amount of time we put in the absolute nowhere that we got. So the snowball thing. Let me explain the snowball thing for those who don't know. It's a personal finance rule that has you envision... Really? Come on. Take this guy out. I have gained no money yet. It's why I'm questioning the snowball to begin with. So the personal finance rule that I'm talking about here, or it's not a rule, it's an idea, it's a strategy for usually dealing with how to handle having multiple loans. It wants you to think about the idea of a snowball on a hill or a mountain, somewhere high up. It's just a snowflake, you know, it's as tiny as can be. And then it just starts traversing over snow down the side of that mountain or hill. And you know from cartoons what happens. It gathers other snow, collecting to itself like a Katamari ball. And it gets larger and larger and larger. So with that image in mind, let's say you have a credit card that doesn't have to be maxed out, but you know, there's something to pay down on it. A car loan, and what else? A school loan. There's a good one. Let's just keep those three. So you've got those three loans. You don't have a mortgage, so you're not worried about that one at least. You absolutely don't want to keep paying out all of this as much as you have to, but your budget is stretched. You can only do so much more. So let's just say, for simplicity's sake, all three of those loans are $100 a month each. Okay? And you want to do something about it. You want to pay them off earlier. There's many different ways you can approach it. One of them is a snowball. And that is to say, I can afford $20 more in my budget. Oh good, I went up a level again. Did I not go up a level again? I thought I just did. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. So you could split up that $20 all three ways. That's one method. You can apply that $20 to a rule that says, which one are you paying the highest interest rate on? That kind of thing. Snowball doesn't necessarily focus on that part of the equation. It does, however, want you to pick one of them. And you can go about this two different ways. You can usually you would pick either the one with the largest balance, but I think more commonly people will do the thing with the smallest balance. So let's say that's the credit card bill, right? You put the extra 20 all into that credit card bill. You pay that credit card off earlier because of it. And when that credit card bill is paid, you then take that $20 that you had originally gone above and beyond, and then you apply it to the next smallest thing. So, see, I said credit card. Let's say the car loan is the next one. You put that $20 to the car loan plus whatever you used to pay on that credit card bill. So that was $100. So now instead of having $100 a month free, you're actually now paying $220 instead of $100 on the car loan. And you just keep picking up momentum then. You start paying things down faster and faster. Hopefully, as all this time is passing, you're also getting raises or better jobs or something to that extent. And, you know, your budget's getting better and better, but you overpay the principal balance. You get it down and off of your books even faster, that kind of thing. And it's just a nice feeling. It's got this big reward at the end when all of a sudden you're looking at this sudden moment when, oh my God, those 3 loans that I was paying on, they're all gone. And I've got all this money left over. It's top of mind right now for me because I only have 2 loans out there right now. I have my school loan, and then I have my mortgage. And I have right now enough money in one of my savings accounts to actually pay off the last school loan. And when I can do that, I've been overpaying this school loan, so I'm not even supposed to be paying this off for another 8 years or so, but I could kind of pay it right now if I wanted to. And I'm tempted to. And so, man, an extra I'm paying $400 a month on it now. Man, an extra $400 a month to do with as I please? That would be awesome. And I kind of already know what I want to do with that. I want to, I don't want to spend all that savings now, just in case something breaks, you know. You want to have that money. You don't want to go into more debt because of it. So that's why it's top of mind. How am I applying it here? I'm applying it here boy, it has taken me a long time to go up to the next level, isn't it? It applies here. I could buy the best cheap equipment that I could use, which would be like the armor or something. There we go, finally. Yeah. What do I get? Power by 2, nice. Speed by 2, I'll take it. Hit points only 2. Magic 5, and I learned a new spell, which I believe is heal. It is, so we're going to rest right away again here, so I can have access to that, and I think the cheat should be active for that. We'll find out as we go. So I could go up from cheaper thing up to more expensive thing. And what that will do is you will see slowly but surely battles will get easier and faster to complete, and then it just makes your time spent more efficiently. The way that I'm doing it, I'm going to go with the more expensive thing first. And what that will do is, because of the leveling system, it will see me have a little bit, once I get over a hill, so to speak, I will be moving on much more rapidly from there. So right now I'm trying to get $180, which will get me gold, which will get me a weapon. And in fact, once I get the weapon, these fights will be even faster then. I am kind of just enjoying the old visuals of these 8-bit sprites, and and what have you. Oh, got an excellent move. How nice. Too bad it was just on a regular slime. I am enjoying the music. It is taking me back a bit. I do want to, while doing the Tropeacetic thing, I don't just want to burn through the game, or any of these games necessarily. I do kind of want to take them in, take in their environments, their music, the world that's been created, kind of get an appreciation. Like, it's not as if I don't already have an appreciation, but I kind of want to do something different with Joy Boys on this show, which is be a bit more reflective on what it offers. So, as an example, okay, here we are, we're walking around Tantagel Castle, right? And as a little kid, playing this game, when I, started playing games eventually, I always thought it was funny that the place you had to go was just right there. Every other game, you can just assure yourself, if there's a map, where you have to go is all the way across it. That is the journey. And yet here it's the opposite. It's kind of teasing you, like, don't you wish you could, just take care of everything here, huh? Well, you can't. But there is something else I kind of admire about some placement, and it makes me wonder about the people who design these worlds, if they really thought about this or not. But here we are at Tantagel Castle, and our major cities are usually strategically located, whether it was purpose-built or over time it built itself up in this way. We're going to do, after this, we're going to use some magic here and see if indeed that is working. Yes, it is. Okay, so we are good to save time now, no longer needing to actually stop and sleep, except for when I want to up the MP and HP maxes. So, if I were making a game, to be honest with you, I wouldn't think about that. I wouldn't think about that history of these locations. And so, yeah, here we have Tantagel Castle. I think that's how you say it. And it's in a pretty strong defensive spot. Here we are up against a river. There's a water source. That's nice. It's by this forest, which gives you, hunting and lumber and an ability to grow. The grassland, of course, you would assume for farming. These hills, I don't know, maybe they can mine these hills. If not, they can probably mine these mountains. And the mountains, of course, you can't walk through them. And therefore you assume neither can other armies. So it's defended quite a bit to the east. It's defended to the south and to the north with this pass. Your army coming from the north, you have to come through here, so there's a bottleneck. So Tantagel is a reasonably defended place, so let's start walking around a bit more and see how does that fit the rest of its side. So we said east is good, no question. North, a gap that's necessary, and so we head south, and we know we've got mountains and stuff like that down here, and hills as well. A little bit, I would say this is fairly far out of the city limits of Tantagel and Breckenary. But, there it's got some protection. We come, our first Drakey, and he's attacking me before I'm ready. I don't want to take a chance. Let's heal. Okay. Because I don't remember. Oh boy, did I miss? Or did I just barely hit it? It was one or the other. So we'll check out its west, but I see some water, some more forest to the west. Dude, Aleph, can you take this guy out? Thank you. Okay, we're gonna heal right away so I don't get sometimes, get caught in misses and you can get excellent moved against you, or I could just do one against the red slime right off the bat. Oh my god. This happens sometimes, as you all know if you play RPGs. You certainly recognize that. So yeah, here's more water to the west. So we can say for sure that the people who designed this world absolutely, in part, put up these barriers to travel against you. They need you to take a more linear path through the game that they designed. And so that can feel... Oh, am I ready for a ghost? I'll try it. Therefore, you could call that somewhat unnatural, unreal, except for at the same time, it is kind of how we found ourselves in places. I'm in Chicago, and we're right up against Lake Michigan. There's not a surprise there. And you can find this for so many of our cities. Wow, this ghost is kicking my booty. I was not gonna... Oh, good. Thanks, Aleph. Way to miss. So I don't know. I find that kind of interesting. I also love themed locations or what have you. Like, I am a cold weather guy. I find my time of year, I'm happiest September through March, let's say. Not that I have anything. I like August. I like April. May, June, and July. My issues with them happen to be here in Chicago. May and June is when we start getting some violent storms. And, I don't want lightning. I don't want tornadoes. I don't want hail. I don't want stuff that really hurts people. And then August is fine, though, and April is usually fine. But I prefer cool autumnal weather and winter weather because I just have fun with that stuff. But I love finding those locations in games. I want to see the desert. It's like the Star Wars planet thing. I want to see the desert planet. I want to see the ice planet, that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll try and... He hit me for 3? Wowza. And if I can go up one more level, that would be great. Then we can finally move on here, because we've been doing this for half an hour now. I'm starting to feel itchy, like, ooh, yeah, okay, I just did a lot of talking. Maybe you found it enjoyable, maybe not. And you're ready to see more game. So I'm thinking, do I want to do a money cheat of some sort? I don't know. I wasn't planning on it, but this can take a long time. So actually, you know what? Yeah, here's what we'll do. Maybe if I didn't walk around, then maybe I could have just... Oh, okay. I was going to say, next level I go up. Let's see if I can find that money cheat that we used in the past. How much stronger am I now that I am a whopping 4? There is a max level on here that is not 99 like you find in most RPGs. I believe it's 30. So I'm more than 10% of the way there. Response speed went up by 2, so my power didn't go up. That sucks. HP 6, MP 11. Yep, that means I learned a new spell. Hurt. That's good. So, you know what? Let's do a couple things here. First, we're in a sleepy sleep. That way we can get our new HP total and our new MP total, 16. All right, so I'm not going anywhere. This is not the end of an episode. I know I made it sound like that, but it's not. We're gonna... Oh, okay. Doing this live. It's the only way I know how to do anything. Let's see. See, a lot of these cheats that I'm seeing are like, hey, you get... you got to start the game, but it also pushes you up to max level or something like that. I don't want that, however. Let me do a quick search here. Yeah, I guess I could do those. Because I'm noticing these gold ones are a lot of start with kind of things. Or you know what? Okay, this is different. We're gonna do something different here. I just saw this. This could be fun. Excellent hit every time. That'll actually save us a lot of time. So, what do you mean? Character doesn't. Oh, I had a space in there. That's why. There we go. We'll add some of that in there. Let's see if this works, because that'll actually really help out. I'll start targeting some other stronger monsters. We'll find out right now if that works. That's a good sign. Oh, as you can see, I was jamming on the A button, as one does. Okay, so I think that's working. So there we go. Maybe that's what we did instead. Did we not do an infinite gold thing with her? I could have sworn she had 65,000 something gold. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We can cruise through this now. They love to just tantalize you with places you can go, but how do you get there? I decided to go with this. I realize now I just recorded the explanatory audio for what Tropeacetic is. And it occurs to me there's some things I didn't say. I don't think I mentioned how I'm picking the games that I will be playing on here. So maybe now's a good time to explain that, because if you're still watching at this point on this video, then that means you probably care to some degree. And so we will... You're here, you're sticking it out, you're sticking through with this with me. You're a crazy person for doing so, but I won't hold it against you. Oh boy. I think I need to hurt them, so to speak. How hard are you hitting me? Okay. No! Shoot. See? I'm so used to, oh, what do they call that? Is it cursor memory? That I think eventually you start to see. Oh yeah, that's a lot better, actually. I do want to fight more of those. I didn't realize those would show up right here. If I would have known that, I think I might have come down here. Oh, well, no, because I just got the hurt spell, though. Oh, wait, so that's doing that much damage. How much is that doing? About the same, huh? Well, I've almost got what I need for the first weapon. Or the first piece of equipment, which is going to be a weapon. So... let's see. So let me explain how the game that I'm playing is being selected. Oh, I can't believe he dodged an excellent move. I didn't know that could happen. I didn't know that was a thing. What a tease. What I have done, any of you who have watched the Dust Off episodes, at least starting with 2024, you're aware that I'm using a website called Picker Wheel that will choose the machine, and then we'll choose the letter, and then from there I'm using a random number generator based on however many games I have that fit those two conditions, and then from there I am figuring out what's the lesser known game that we will be playing. So let's hold that thought. I believe the thing I wanted was a copper sword, which is 180. So the next thing we'll get is the shield for 90, and then the leather armor for 70. With the copper sword in hand and the higher levels and the lower amounts to get, that's how we are going to snowball. This is going to be faster. So yeah, that's okay. Thanks, guy. Do I wish to buy anything more? Not at the moment. I need 90 gold. And I got a sword in my guy now. Way to go, Aleph. You're our hero. So I made another picker wheel. It's not one that's going to get, I don't know, unless if people want to see the spin. I don't know. I feel like that was a fun fit for, having Rob sit there and not know what he's about to get into. In this case, I don't know that maybe you guys would find it fun or not. I'm not sure. The wheel will get spun, and each slice on the wheel is... Oh, God, he's dodging me. How dare you? Thank you. Yeah, now I'm hitting him more than the hurt spell would. Perfect. Each slice of the wheel is a RPG series with a couple of asterisks applied. It's not every RPG series. There are some that I have no real knowledge of. They're not my type. Like, boy, I hate to say it, guys, but Elder Scrolls is just not my thing. It will eventually be added to the list. But I want to get a good amount through the list first before I start adding those. One of the asterisks is that the series has to have at minimum 3 titles in it. So there are a number of series out there that are on the list, but they aren't their own pie slice. If they're 2 or... Ooh, a scorpion right here? Holy crap. Why, Oh, shoot. Heal? Because I don't want him to excellent move me. So, if there's just an RPG that it's just the only entry within that series, therefore it's not even really a series. I'm trying to think off the top of my head of a good example. Oh, here's a good one that's fairly... I think it's beloved, but people don't really talk about it that much. I'm thinking of Legend of Dragoon. It is shocking that Sony never revisited that. That must have sold poorly. Or something. Something happened. Crap. Where are these guys coming from? I don't think... Obviously, I'm not playing on regular hardware because I don't know how to capture an NES nowadays. I remember coming down here to fight the Drakeys. I don't remember all of these guys showing up, though, so it makes me wonder, is it an emulator thing? Maybe? Back to what I was saying. If it's something like Legend of Dragoon, there is the biggest pie slice on it. Oh, I'm going up a level. Let's see how I'm doing now. Power by 4. Nice. Speed 2. HP 4. MP 4. No new spell. So the largest pie slice, which is probably 15%, is just called Miscellaneous. All of the games within the series or within Miscellaneous are in order of their release date as best as I could determine their release date, similar to what I did with my Bonanza, and therefore similar to the list that Pixel Pack and Mama is going through. Just because that's how I do everything. Yeah, I see I do have enough to get what I need for the next piece, so I'm trying to head that way now, which is the shield, which will complete our sprite. The other asterisk regarding the series is that 2 of the pie slices aren't actually series, but instead creations. Or creators, maybe is probably the better way to put that. So, for example, anybody who's familiar with I'm sorry, I'm sure it's not how you say it, the Atelier series? Atelier? I don't know. Let's buy a shield. And then we can get our leather armor and then figure out what we want to do next. Leather armor is 70. Yay, we got a shield now. Should I sleep? No, we don't need to sleep. We'll wait till our next spell or something when we worry about the MP max. The Atelier series, which I think also includes the Artonalico series. Again, I don't know how to say a lot of things, guys. Sorry. Oh, I'm starting to get blue slimes to run away. Those are all made by Gust. So there is a Gust slice. Another one that I decided to do that with was actually BioWare, speaking of Mass Effect not too long ago. So the BioWare slice has Neverwinter Nights and Knights of the Old Republic and Jade Empire, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, all of that sort of thing. Those were the only two I decided to do that way. I don't know if I have a good reason why. It's just what I decided to do. And so they're all weighted by the number of games within the series / company / whatever. And I will update it. So, for example, when I'm done with Dragon Warrior 1, I will go to the picker wheel and I will remove 1 from the weight of the Dragon Quest series. That way everything sort of gets reweighted and we'll have a whole lot more chance of bouncing around a bit. Because you know what? Okay, so I loved the Dragon Quest games. They're great. You know, I've talked about them plenty of times before. I don't want to play Dragon Quest 1 through 9 all in a row. I've tried doing stuff like that. I've tried doing it with Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Command & Conquer, Resident Evil, all these other series, and I just find that it does get to be too much. You get too much in a groove, and you're just sort of sitting there stuck. There are other little things that I won't be able to remember, strictly speaking, all of the details of. For example, I'm pretty sure that I put Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross in the Final Fantasy series, but it's not a Squaresoft series because the Saga series is separate as well. So it's messy. The wheel just has the series names on it, and I have a spreadsheet then that I will reference, which tells me, oh, this one is next. While the work to do that, you may be wondering, there is a good reason why. The Pixel Packin' Mama watches our videos. Hello, Mother. I'm sure you just got this playing in the background right now somewhere. As a result of that, we've already done Dragon Quest, and it's one of the, at the moment, few games that she seemed to actually like and actually maybe have an interest in continuing to play. And there are plenty of other RPGs on the list for her to experience. So I don't want to overcover those games. And I don't want her to not be able to watch this stuff because she seems to enjoy it. So it's a little kind of a balancing act. So if I spin the wheel and Suikoden 1 comes up, or well, Suikoden the series comes up, which means that the first one on there to play is Suikoden 1, I know I need her to play that. So I don't want to cover it necessarily early on in Tropeacetic, as much as I can't wait to play it again because I love that game. But, you know, trying to keep things blind for her, and again, not overcover for you guys, because, you know, we've covered a couple games more than once here. Mario Brothers 1 and 2 has been played twice, or 3 times now on our channel, at least by the time I'm recording this. And so that can get old, that can get tiring. You guys probably want to see a lot more, especially because we've kind of finagled ourselves into a thing where we're looking for the lesser known titles. We want to show you guys, man, there's so many cool things out there. Like leather armor. Not like clothes, but leather armor. Okay. So, let me take a look at the runtime on this one. Where are we at here? We're coming up on an hour. I don't think that's a problem. For an RPG, that's not a big deal. So, what should we do? Instead of an episode break, I'm thinking let's get something done here. Oh, I just remembered something. I just remembered something. I made fun of that guy flashing his flashlights at me, but now that I think about it, doesn't he actually refresh your MP? I'm going to test that now. I'm at what, 16? I think that was the deal. I think it took me forever as a kid to figure that out also. Let's find out. Hey, old guy. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's good to know too, because that's really the only reason to rest for me. Okay, so, I guess we should get the tablet now. Make that a part of this episode. That's at the cave, I believe, where you kind of get your destiny told to you or whatever it is. So yeah, let's do that. I do have a torch, but I remember it's northwest, southeast. Oh, and then I forget from there what it is. And I don't have the light spell yet. So here we're leaving the confines of the Tantegel region. And here's a special little mausoleum. The last bit I wanted to say about the picker wheel stuff, actually, let me walk around a little bit just so I can explain that. There will be times when I spin it. This is another reason why this actually solidifies why I don't want to do the spin recorded. And if Suikoden 1 comes up and the PPM has not played that yet, I don't want to then do the game for Tropeacetic yet. I'd rather wait for her benefit and for your benefit. So then I might be like, okay, what's the next series on this list? And let's do that one instead. So things will get added to the list over time. They'll be subtracted from the list over time. And there will be a little bit of bouncing around. And again, for those of you who don't understand, I am cheating, and the cheats are just to save time. That's the whole point. I mean, how many people do you think have played Dragon Warrior 1 on YouTube, right? It's got to be beyond hundreds. It has to be thousands, right? It's such an important game kicking off one of the biggest RPG series ever, and one of the ones that had to have its own holiday in Japan. I'm assuming that stuff was true. Okay, so yeah, we're northwest. Yeah, we're northwest, so... Okay. Sorry, for people who have not played this, there we go. Okay, there it is. A lot of us will go through this. It's probably not fun to watch. A lot of us will go through this by sound, especially this first one. I know there's plenty of people who will do the later caves as well until you get the light spell, which also lets you see more than what I can see at the moment. Was it? Yeah, that's the dead end. Yep, there it is. I'll be relying on maps later on too. Let me read this tablet. I am Erdrick, not Lodo, and thou art my descendant. 3 items were needed to reach the Isle of Dragons, which is south of Breckenary. I gathered these items, reached the island, and there defeated a creature of great evil. Now I have entrusted the 3 items to 3 worthy keepers. Their descendants will protect the items until thy quest leads thee to seek them out. When a new evil arises, find the 3 items, then fight. Alright, so that's all that was about. Just a little plot detail, which might be important for what we're doing here at Tropeacetic, which is asking ourselves the question, how tropey, how cliche riddled is this game? And how does it compare to all of the others? So yeah, the cheating, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be like, oh, it's lame. It's really just it's partly for my own sanity, let's be honest. Because as much as you might like certain games, you can get tired of certain things over time. Like, okay, here I am talking highly about the Suikoden games, but Suikoden 1, as much as I love that game, you know what I don't look forward to on there? I should walk around while talking about this. I don't look forward to playing that stupid Cups game for that one lady, or I think it was a lady, I can't remember, to join my castle. I hate that stupid spinning wheel, speaking of spinning wheels, that is in Lapont's house, that you have to go to get his sword in order to tick him off and try and con him into a meeting with you. There's stuff like that in all of these games that I'm still going to have to deal with, but they just add to the time, you know? So I think that's Garenham, I think is what that's called. So this might actually be a really good spot to take a break, but before we move straight on to an episode, let's now get to what Tropeacetic proper is about. So I'm going to do a little save-a-rooney. All right, so we've saved. Let's let the game music play. I need a drink of water. I've been talking for an hour. There is a good chance that I'm going to have to adjust the way that I do this, where when I'm grinding, I'm probably going to be quieter and probably start chopping that up to save some time as well, because again, if we're not playing it straight, you might not be so interested. It's going to be a balancing act, because it's also kind of fun to just look at what the monster art is and, you know, how does this skill appear on this thing or that thing. So what I'm doing as we stare at the outskirts of Garenham is I am pulling up my updated list of these cliches. 192 rules broken down into 277 possible points. We're not going through every single rule right now. I just want to be clear about that. I have divided these up into the time frame of the game, and so we're going to start out with 22 rules that I feel like when I read their description was mostly based on the opening section of a game. After finishing the opening of a game, we should know if these rules are going to successfully be a cliche point, or maybe not. You know, we'll find out from there. And I will reference the rule numbers from that list if you guys chose to pull it up yourself. So here we go. We start with rule number 1, the sleepyhead rule. The explanation for this rule is as follows. The teenaged male lead will begin the first day of the game by oversleeping, being woken up by his mother, and being reminded that he slept in so late he missed meeting his girlfriend. So of course, first couple seconds of the game we know whether or not that's the case for the game we're playing. Sleepyhead rule does not happen here. We were not woken up by our parents. Our parents are not a part of this game as far as I remember. We're there talking to the king. He summoned us or what have you. So this is a no. This is no points there. Rule number 2, no, my beloved peasant village. This one is the hero's hometown, city, slum, or planet will usually be annihilated in a spectacular fashion before the end of the game, and often before the end of the opening scene. So this is a great rule to have here, because maybe this happens, but not in the opening. I love Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest IV, Chapters of the Chosen. That happens, but in the final chapter, chapter 5, right? It doesn't happen here. I don't think we even know who Elif's hometown location is. So far, no tropes. Number 3, thinking with the wrong head, aka the hero rule. No matter what she's accused of doing, or how mysterious her origins are, the hero will always be ready to fight to the death for any girl he met 3 seconds ago. I think that's a no on this one. You do go to save Princess Gwaelin, but that's optional, number 1. I will be doing it because, come on. And number 2, there is no other party member. There is no other real character. Gwaelin's not a real character. She's just an object. Like all women. I'm joking. But that's a no. So we can move on. Now we skip ahead to Rule 11. Let's start from the very beginning, aka the Yuna rule. Whenever there is a sequel to an RPG that features the same main character as the previous game, that character will always start with beginner skills. Everything that they learned in the previous game will be gone, as will all their ultra-powerful weapons and equipment. It's going to take a while before we have any rule that can actually, before we have any game that can actually earn a point from this rule, because early on we're going to be playing the first game in a series. So that talks specifically about a sequel. So still going. Rule number 12, poor little rich hero, the maze rule. I think that's how he said that. That's the main guy from Thousand Arms, I believe. Which I can't wait to play that again. And maybe actually understand what the hell I was supposed to be doing with those dating games. If the hero comes from a rich and powerful family, it will have fallen on hard times and be broke and destitute by the time the game actually starts. There's a chance that's true for this one because we are a descendant of Erdrick, but it's not how the story's told, so I gotta say no on this one. You guys can argue with me and tell me I'm wrong, but that's how I'm leaning. Skip ahead to number 27, the Nostradamus rule. All legends are 100% accurate, all rumors are entirely factual, and all prophecies will come true, and not just someday, but almost immediately. Okay. I'm going to say no on this one. This seems less prophetic, what's happening here, and just more like we were just prepared just in case. So I'm gonna say this one doesn't make it. So we still haven't gotten our first cliche point yet. If you got a better idea of like what to call those, like if you can give it a specific name, I would love to hear it. Rule number 31: bed, bed, bed. A good night's sleep will cure all wounds, diseases, and disabilities up to and including death in battle. That's a mechanic that we already have with this first game, so we finally have 1 point, which we have found in episode 1 of Dragon Quest, or Dragon Warrior. Just like Suikoden, Suikoden, I am gonna constantly mix those up. It's habit. It's like Eris and Aerith. Although I will still say Ketchi and not Kate Sith. Rule number 40. Zelda's Axiom. Whenever somebody tells you about the 5 ancient talismans or the 9 legendary crystals or whatever, you can be quite confident that saving the world will require you to go out and find every last one of them. Boom, baby, that's another point, because we got to find the 3 objects to make the Rainbow Bridge. So yes, sir. Moving on. George W. Bush Geography Simplification Initiative, aka Rule number 41. Every country in the world will have exactly 1 town in it, except for the country you start out in, which will have 3. Okay, so that makes me think a lot of Dragon Quest 3, actually. I'm gonna say no, but let me pull up the world map, which I actually already have open. Let me just take a gander here. So, I'm gonna say no. I'll put a question mark here. I don't know that this map is actually broken up by country. So I don't know that we can quite say whether or not that's going to be the case. If we count, so you got Tantegel Castle, Erdrick's Cave isn't a town, but you've got Garenham and Breckenary. If that is considered a country, then that might actually make the rule true, but we have to find another country and then see how that lines up with the map. So I put a question mark there. We can revisit it. Rule number 92, the figurehead rule. Whenever someone asks you a question to decide what to do, it's just to be polite. He or she will ask the question again and again until you answer correctly. So I've seen that, and I'm sure you have too if you're an RPG player, quite a number of times. We haven't really run into that. The only time we've gotten a question answer session quite like that, it was with that guard. I'll put a question mark there in case something with Princess Gwaelin happens that way, and I just don't remember, but I'm leaning no. All right, next we have rule number 97, the 3 females rule. There will always be either 1 or 3 female characters in the hero's party, no matter how many male characters there are. That's a no on this one. This is just a 1-person party, so we can move on from that. Rule 101, the law of productive gullibility, aka the Ruby rule. Whenever anybody comes up to you with a patently ludicrous claim such as, "I'm not a cat, I'm really an ancient red dragon," there's an at least 2/3 chance they're telling the truth. Therefore, it pays to humor everyone you meet. Odds are you'll be glad you did it later on. I don't think that happens in this game. So I'm going to say no to that one. Rule 107, the Arbor Day rule. At some point, you're going to have to talk to a tree and do what it says. Well, we haven't talked to a tree yet. I don't remember that happening, but I'll put a question mark in. We'll see what happens. 109, the invisible bureaucracy rule. Other than the royal family, its shifty advisor, and the odd mad scientist, the only government employees you will ever encounter in the course of your adventure are either guards or kitchen staff. Yep, I forgot about that one. That 100% fits what we see here. So, no chefs on this one. But yeah, okay. That's a unexpected point for it. Rule number 120, the Little Nemo law. If any sleeping character has a dream, that dream will either be a 100% accurate memory of the past, a 100% accurate psychic sending from the present, a 100% accurate prophetic vision of the future, or a combination of 2 or all 3 of these. I don't think there's any dream here. So we move on to number 121. We're nearing the end of this opening segment of rules, looking for cliche points. CP. Rule 121, the Child Protection Act, aka the Rydia rule. Children 12 and under are exempt from death. They will emerge alive from cataclysms that slaughter hundreds of sturdily built adults, often with barely a scratch. Further protection is afforded if the catastrophe will orphan the child. Happens a lot, not in this game. Rule 122, the missing master hypothesis. Almost every strong physical fighter learned everything she knows from some old master or friend. Invariably, the master or friend has since turned evil, been killed, or disappeared without a trace. Doesn't happen on this one. That's our descendant, not quite the same thing. Rule 151, the Gender Equality Addendum, aka the Rin rule. In the unlikely event that the main character of the game is female, she will not be involved in any romantic subplot whatsoever beyond getting hit on by shopkeepers. We play as a male. In this case, that's Elif, so no. Just a couple more left. It looks like 4 more. Number 155, evil may live forever, but it doesn't age well. Even though it took the greatest armies in the world and all of the world's greatest magicians to seal away an ancient evil in an apocalyptic war, once said ancient evil breaks free, 3 fairly inexperienced warriors can destroy it. No. I'm going to say no on this one. That's pretty close to what kind of has happened here, but no, I'm going to say no on that one. You guys argue with me if you think what Erdrick/Lodo did and is doing here counts. Maybe there was a text line from that tablet I read and I'm not thinking of, or maybe There's been a change in the future versions of this game that sort of addresses that. I have barely touched 2. I know what happens kind of in 3, but the end game is still kind of a mystery for me on that one, so I feel like what I've got here, I'm just saying no. Rule 166, the key item rule. Never discard, sell, or otherwise remove permanently from your possession any items you begin the game with or acquire within the first town. This is especially true for items that seem to have no practical use because of ... We'll get to it in a second. Well, actually, no, we'll get to it right now. Rule 167, the law of inverse practicality, aka the key item corollary. Any item that you can acquire will have some sort of purpose. Those that seem to be useless and have no practical value at all always tend to have great power later on. The earlier you get the item, the later in the game it will be used. The longer the span of time between acquisition and use, the more powerful the item is. No on both of these. We don't really have... We have key items in Dragon Quest 1, but not in the way that they're talking. Last rule for the opening segment of the first Tropeacetic, Dragon Warrior 1. Rule 169, Gilligan's Prescription. Any character who has amnesia will be cured before the end of the game. They usually won't like what they find out about themselves, though. Now, I know you guys are saying, hey, Brian, that says end of the game. Why did you put that in the opening segment? Because we need to address right off the bat, does anybody have amnesia? Final Fantasy VI, you know that Terra has amnesia right off the bat. We don't have any characters with amnesia here. So, where does that leave us? Where are we now? We have ourselves three cliche points in the opening segment of this game. So, I will leave you here for now. And in the next episode, we will try and get a little more done. Definitely more grinding because we're outside Garenham and there's more equipment there. And then we'll end up doing the next time frame of rules. So far, 3 out of 22 is not very... it's not a very... Or I guess we should just say 3 out of 277. Not even really hitting more than 1%, right? So... stick with me. Let's see how Tropeacetic, one of the earliest examples of a major RPG, is when it comes to tropes. Thanks for joining me.
Let's Player needs food badly.